Hello my dear students, how are you all? My name is Parul Parmar and today we will be studying grammar subject. In grammar subject today we will be studying chapter number 1, nouns. So what is a noun? Let us look at the board first. So here we will study different types of nouns in this chapter. Common nouns, proper nouns, collective nouns, abstract nouns and possessive forms of nouns. These all are the forms of nouns. But what is a noun? A noun is a naming word. Now what do you mean by a naming word? The names which we give to any person, place, animal, thing, idea or an emotion. The names which we give, it's called naming words. Okay, now we will talk about different types of nouns. The first is the common noun. What do you mean by common noun? Common nouns are the general names. The general names of person, place, animals and things. The names which are not particular are called common nouns. The next is proper nouns. What do you mean by proper nouns? The specific or the particular names which we give to person, animals, places and things are nothing but proper nouns. Proper nouns always starts with capital letters. Next is abstract nouns. Now what do you mean by abstract nouns? The nouns which names ideas, feelings, emotions. The nouns which we can only feel but we cannot touch are called abstract nouns. Next is the collective nouns. Now what do you mean by collective nouns? The names of the groups of people, animals and things are called collective nouns. And the last noun, the next noun is possessive forms of nouns. This noun shows belonging or ownership and it's always have an apostrophe. Now students, let us study all these nouns in detail. So the very first noun which we will study is proper noun. So what is a proper noun? A proper noun are the names of particular people, places or thing. Any particular people, places or things, the names which we give. For example, Rahim. Rahim is the name of a boy. We have given a particular name to that boy, Rahim. So Rahim is a proper noun. Next is Mount Abu. It is the name of a place. We have given a particular name to a hill station, to a place, Mount Abu. So it is a proper noun. Next is Thursday. Thursday is the name of a day of the week. So it is a proper noun. Next is Pepsi. Pepsi is the name of a brand, of a particular brand. We have given a particular name to that brand, Pepsi. So all these are proper nouns and proper nouns always begins with a capital letters. So proper nouns is nothing but the particular names which we give to person, place, animal and thing. Next noun we study is the common noun. What do you mean by common noun? Common nouns are the general names. What the general names? The general names of people, places or things. The generally what we call, for example, school. School does not have any particular name, so it comes under common noun. But if I say RS Kalaria Primary School, then it comes under proper noun. But if I just say school, then it is a common noun. Same way goes with train. I will be boarding a train tonight. But if I don't say a name, then it is not a proper noun. It's just a train. So it is a common noun. But if I say I will be traveling by Shatabdi Express tonight. So Shatabdi Express is a particular name which we give to the train. So that will be the proper noun. But here I am just saying train. Same way goes with toy. I love my toy. I am just saying in general that I love my toy. I am not giving any particular name to my toy. Same way goes with picture. I have a beautiful picture at home, but I am not describing, I am not telling you in particular that which picture do I have. So all these are the general names of thing, places and person. Okay students, now let us study about the third noun which is called collective nouns. Now what do you mean by collective nouns? Now if 2 or 3 people come together in a crowd, we say it's a group. Same way goes with animal. If 5 to 6 animals are together, we say it's a group. But what name should we give to that group? The names which we give to that group is nothing but collective nouns. The names which we give to the group of people, group of animals and group of things. The names which we give is called the collective nouns. So let us look at some examples. If there are cricket players, there's peacock, pride of lands. Same way goes with dancers. If there are so many dancers, there is a group of dancers. So what name should we give to that group of dancers? We can say troupe. Troupe of dancers. So in this way, we give the names to the group of people, places, animals and things. So this is collective nouns. Now let us move to the next noun, which is abstract nouns. What do you mean by abstract nouns? Abstract noun means nouns that names ideas, qualities and feelings. The nouns which we can only feel but we cannot see or touch. What are those nouns? Let us have a look. First is happiness. Can we touch happiness? No, we can only feel the happiness. Same way goes with honesty. Can we touch the honesty or see the honesty? We can only feel the honesty. So abstract nouns are nothing but the nouns that names our qualities, our feelings, our emotions. Same way goes with anger, knowledge, kindness, advice. These all are abstract nouns. All these nouns we can just feel but we cannot touch or see them. So abstract nouns are nothing but the name of our feelings, our emotions, our ideas. So I hope you have understood abstract noun and collective forms of nouns. The next noun which we will be studying is possessive forms of nouns. What do you mean by the word possession? Possession means belonging or ownership. When something is belonging to someone, we say it's possession. It's his possession or her possession. So in possessive forms of nouns, we put an apostrophe after a noun to make it possessive form. Like here you have put an apostrophe after a noun. For example, the dog's food. If I say whose food? The dog's food. This food belongs to the dog. So here you have put apostrophe s and we have stated possessive form of noun. Same way goes with my brother's football. Whose football it is? It is my brother's football. The football belongs to my brother. So here also I have put apostrophe and s. To put an apostrophe and s, there are 4 rules which we will be studying. Okay students, so now we will study the 4 rules of possessive forms of nouns. So let us study the first rule. What is the first rule telling us? To singular nouns, add apostrophe and s. For example, the dog food. Whose food it is? The dog. The food is belonging to the dog. So here, for singular noun, here the dog is singular noun. For singular noun, we will add apostrophe and s. Apostrophe and s. So we will say the dog's food. Whose food it is? The dog's food. Same way goes with my brother football. Your brother is a singular noun. So again for singular noun, we will add apostrophe and s. So here it will become my brother's football. So rule number 1 tells us that to singular nouns, to form a possessive form of noun, for a singular noun, we have to add apostrophe and s. Now let us move to rule number 2. What is rule number 2 telling us? It is telling us to plural nouns. Now we are dealing with plural nouns. For the plural nouns that end in s, if the plural nouns are ending in s, for example, dogs. Dogs here are plural. It may be more than 1, 2, 4, 10, 15, any. So for plural nouns and which already ends in s, here the dog is already ending in s, so we have to just put an apostrophe, and that an apostrophe after the s to make it a possessive form. Whose food it is? The dog's food. If the noun is plural, we will put the apostrophe after the s if the noun is already carrying s in the word. Same way goes with my brother's football. Here I am having brother's plural form. So for plural form, we will put apostrophe only, and that too after s. So what is rule number 2 telling us? Rule number 2 is telling us that if there is a plural noun, we have to just put that apostrophe and make it as a possessive form. Now students, let us move to rule number 3. What is rule number 3 telling us? This is also about plural nouns, but those plural nouns which does not end in s. These plural nouns are men, children. For example, men, and is not ending in s. So here what will we do? We have to add apostrophe and s both to make it a the men's shirts. Same way goes with children. Here the children is a plural noun which is not ending in s. So here also we will put apostrophe and s to make it a possessive form. The children's toys, the men's shirt. So what is rule number 3 telling us? That if the plural noun is not ending in s, we have to put apostrophe and s both. Now let us move to the last rule. What is the last rule telling us? When something belongs to more than one person. More than one person can be 2, 5, 10, any. When something is belonging to more than one person, where will we put the apostrophe? We will put the apostrophe at the last noun. For example, Zahid, Junaid and Sahil. These three are friends. So Zahid, Junaid and Sahil's bags. So here what will we do? We will put the apostrophe at the last noun. So your last noun is the name of the boy, Sahil. So here we will put apostrophe and s to make it a possessive form. So here what will we say? Whose bag it is? It is Zahid, Junaid and Sahil's bag. So I hope you have understood all the 4 rules of possessive forms of nouns. So students, after learning all the 4 rules of possessive forms of nouns, let us look at the 4 sentences and how to apply those rules. The very first question here is add apostrophe wherever required. The exercise is telling us that we have to put the apostrophe. So the first sentence, my father's office is near my mother's shop. Now by looking at this sentence, I feel that there is a singular noun. Yes, where is singular noun? Father and the mother. So this applies the first rule. Where the singular noun, where the noun is singular, what will we do? We add apostrophe and s. So where will we add the apostrophe and s? After the noun. Apostrophe and s. My father's office is near my mother's shop. Okay? Whose shop it is? My mother's shop. Whose office? My father's office. So here you are showing the belonging. Okay. Let us look at the second question. 3 boys' bikes were parked in the driveway. By looking at this sentence, I feel here the boys is a plural noun. And for the plural noun, here applies rule number 2. If the noun is plural, which is already ending in s, we just have to put the apostrophe. And where do we put the apostrophe? Yes, we put the apostrophe after the s to make it a possessive form. So here, 3 boys' bikes were parked in the driveway. Is the correct answer. Look at the third one. The women's dresses were very expensive even after the discount. By looking at this sentence, I think here the noun is plural, which is not ending in s. So here rule number 3 applies. So here where the rule number 3 applies, what does it say? That we have to add apostrophe and s to the plural noun. So here the sentence will become the women's dresses were very expensive even after the discount. Look at the fourth sentence. Anil is packing Anu, Rima and Sanjay lunch. By looking at this sentence, that here there are multiple nouns Anu, Rima and Sanjay. So when you find this type of sentence, what do? We apply rule number 4. That if one thing is belonging to more than one person, where do we put the apostrophe? We put the apostrophe at the last noun. And here the last noun is Sanjay. So what do? We will put apostrophe and s at the last noun. Sanjay's lunch. So girls and boys, I hope you understood the possessive forms of noun and the 4 rules and how to apply it. Okay students, so now let us have a look at the exercise of common nouns and proper nouns. What does it say? It says identify the common nouns and proper nouns. Here we will circle the proper nouns and we will underline the common nouns. So here the first sentence is Munshi Premchand was a great writer. So here in this sentence, I feel Munshi Premchand is the name of a person. It should be a proper noun. So I will circle the proper noun. And what do you feel? You can identify the common noun? Yes, writer is a common noun. So we will underline the writer. Second, he wrote many books in Hindi. Here, as I can see the common noun first. Books. So I will underline books and Hindi. Hindi is a proper noun. It's a name of a language. So it is a proper noun. Let us move to the third one. His books are generally set in the villages of northern India. Here I can see the common noun first. Books is the common noun. So we have underlined it. Same way goes with villages. Villages is also a common noun. So we will underline villages. But what about India? India is a country, particular name. So it is a proper noun. Next is, why is Deepa going to Tokyo in June? In this sentence, I feel there is a proper noun. So Deepa is the name of a person. So it is a proper noun. Tokyo is the name of a place. It is also a proper noun. Next is June. June is the name of a month of the year. So it is also a proper noun. So in this sentence, we have found only proper noun. Fifth, my sister Supriya studies in Mumbai University. So as you can see, first sister, common noun. Supriya is the name of a person, so it is a proper noun. Studies in Mumbai University. Mumbai University, name of the university, so it's a proper noun. And the last one is, my uncle bought some biscuits from the market. As you can see, uncle, common noun, bought some biscuits. Biscuits is also common noun. There is no particular name given to the biscuits from the market. So as you can see, the exercise here we have identified common nouns and proper nouns. I hope you have understood this exercise. Okay students, now let us have a look at next exercise. What does it say? Write the names of the groups they belong to. Now we have to identify the groups. So first is yellow, red, orange. I think this group belongs to colors. Next is tea, cold drinks, coffee. This group belongs to, yes, beverages. Third, peacock, eagle and parrot. This group belongs to birds. Fourth, football, hockey and badminton. These all are the names of sports. So this group belongs to sports. And the last one, Ganga, Yamuna and Tapti. This group belongs to rivers. So I hope you have enjoyed this exercise. Okay students, now let us have a look at the exercise of collective nouns. Now first one, dash of ships. Now if there are so many ships standing at the seashore, what do we say? We say fleet. Fleet of ships. Next is sailors. If on the ship there is a group of sailors, what do we say to that group of sailors? We will say crew. Crew of sailors. So the collective noun for sailors is crew. Next is drawers. If there are so many drawers in our cupboard, it becomes a group of things, right? So what is the collective noun we give to the drawers? We say chest of drawers. So the collective noun for drawers is chest. Same goes to keys. If we have so many keys, where do we keep our keys? We keep our keys in a bunch. We say bunch of keys. So the collective noun for keys is bunch. Same way goes with singers. If there are singers on the ship, there are so many singers on the ship for entertainment purpose. So for those singers, for that group of singers, we will say choir of singers. The collective noun for singers who sing on ships are called choir of singers. Same way goes with ants. If there are groups of ants, what name should we give to that group of ants? Yes, we will give colony. We will say colony of ants. So the collective noun for ant is colony. Next is trees. If there are so many trees together in a jungle or on a road, what do we say? We say clump of trees. The collective noun for trees is clump, clump of trees. If we say judges, if there are 3 to 4 judges sitting together, it's a group. So for what name should we give to that group? We will say bench of judges. We will say bench of judges. Next is soldiers. If there are so many soldiers, what name should we give to that group? We will say army. army of soldiers. Next is robbers, thief. If there are so many robbers, there is a group, and what name should we give to that group? We will say gang of robbers. Next is wolves. If there are 3 to 2 wolves in a jungle and they becomes a group, what name should we give to that group? We will say pack of wolves. Next is the stars. If there are so many stars in the sky, but every star has their own group. Some stars are there on the left of our sky or in the right of our sky. So there we see a group. So what name should we give to that group of stars? We can say congregation. And the last one is dash of stars. If there are so many stars in the sky, but always we see the stars in groups, so we can also name those groups of stars. So what is the group name of stars? We can say constellation. Constellation of stars. So in this way we give names to the group of people, animals and things, and the name which we give to the group is called collective nouns. Okay students, so now let us have a look at abstract nouns exercise. So here what is it saying? Let's circle the abstract nouns. So from all these nouns we have to find the abstract nouns. So let us look at the first noun, happiness. Can we feel the happiness? Yes, we can only feel the happiness, we cannot touch or see them. So happiness is an abstract noun. Next is lantern. Lantern we can hang at our home, we can light up the lantern, we can touch it, we can see it, but we cannot feel it. So lantern is not an abstract noun. Same way goes with honesty. Can we feel someone's honesty? Yes, of course we can feel honesty. So honesty is an abstract noun which we cannot touch or see. Same way goes with kindness. Kindness also is a quality. We can feel the kindness of someone, but we cannot see or touch it. Next is tractor. Tractor is a vehicle. We can drive the tractor. So it is not an abstract noun. Same way pencil. We can write with pencil, so we can touch it, carry it anywhere. So pencil is also not an abstract noun. Courage. Yes, we can feel someone courage. So courage is abstract noun. We can only feel it, we cannot touch or see it. Advice. Yes, we can follow someone's advice, we can feel the advice is good. So advice is an abstract noun. Next is bike. Bike is also a vehicle which we can drive. So bike is not an abstract noun. Next is chalk. Of course, the chalk which I am writing on the board, we can touch it. So chalk is also not an abstract noun. And the last one is excitement. Can we feel the excitement? Yes. So excitement is an feeling, abstract noun. It is which we cannot touch or see. So all these which are circled are called abstract nouns. Okay students, now let us have a look at the exercise of abstract nouns. It is saying tick the correct abstract nouns. Let us have a look at the first one. Honesty, cruelty is the best policy. What do you think? What is the correct answer? The correct answer is honesty. Honesty is the best policy. Can we feel honesty? Yes, we cannot touch or see it. Next is Birbal's wisdom or height made him famous in Akbar's kingdom. What do you feel? What is the correct answer? Yes, wisdom. Birbal's intelligence or wisdom made him famous in Akbar's kingdom. We can see the height, right? We can see the height, but can we see the wisdom? No. Third one, my teacher gave me a good piece of advice. My teacher cannot give me patience. My teacher can only give me a good advice. Next is Gandhiji showed great patriotism or dishonesty and fought for our country. We all know that Gandhiji showed great patriotism and fought for our country. Patriotism is an abstract noun which we can only feel. And the last one, let's show some cruelty or kindness to animals. We should always be kind to animals. So kindness here is an abstract noun. So I hope you have understood the exercise of abstract nouns. So students, I hope you have understood the nouns chapter. What all did we study in nouns chapter? We studied nouns. What are nouns? Nouns are the naming words, the names which we give to person, place, animal, thing, idea and emotions. After that we studied common nouns and proper nouns. What do you mean by common nouns? The general names of people, animals, things and places are called common nouns. They are general names of everything and they always begin with small letter. Now let us move to proper noun. What do you mean by proper noun? The particular or the specific name which we give to person, place, animal or thing, and they always start with a capital letter. After proper nouns we studied collective nouns. What do you mean by collective nouns? The names which we give to the groups. What groups? Groups of people, animals and things. The names which we give are called the collective nouns. After collective nouns we studied abstract nouns. What do you mean by abstract nouns? The nouns which we can only feel, our ideas, our qualities, our feelings which we can only feel but we cannot touch, see or hear it are called abstract nouns. And the last noun which we studied was the possessive forms of nouns. What are possessive forms of nouns? Possessive means ownership, belonging. When something is belonging to someone, we use possessive forms of nouns. So students, I hope you have enjoyed my session. We'll meet in the next session. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.